here we are about to start the third match of this team event. Team Gao Jun is leading over Lily Yip Table Tennis Center 2 matches to 0. It's the first team to 3. And this will be a best of 5 doubles with Erica Wu and Ariel Hsing, 2 members of our 2012 Olympic team.
I think most of the team matches in London, Erica played with Lily Zhang for the doubles matches, so it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. In London, Team USA ran up against the number 2 seeded Japan, and being single elimination, it really didn't give our players a chance to get started when you go up against the eventual silver medalist. So Lily Zhang and Erica were featured in the doubles. Made a lot of sense to put Ariel in the singles because she was playing so well, but the Japanese were just too strong in London for Team USA.
Well, that match did produce a YouTube hit, though. But it was good to see our younger players having fun and enjoying the experience.
It was a little bit interesting during the doubles match when Erica caught Lily's leg on a backswing and the racket came flying across the table, and umpires got to duck. And helping out with NBC, my partner Ari Wolf was not really sure what happened at the time, and I knew exactly because I've caught my doubles partner on a backswing, and at the moment you're halfway through your stroke and you're realizing that that racket's coming out of your hand, and you just hope that it's not going to be a projectile landing on somebody.
Of course, Erica's got a bigger backswing on the forehand like a lot of the male players, so that's always a possibility.
I will say, Han, that watching the U.S. team perform at the Olympics on the women's side was such a pleasure. What great representatives Erica, Lily, and Ariel were, and super fight throughout the tournament, and really, I think, increased the exposure of the sport and the respect for the sport for what they did. And as we see more and more clubs, full-time clubs, cropping up across the country, it's really the players that are making it. And our women's side has set the bar very high for the men to come back and compete with to get that same type of international result.
I think watching this match, what's interesting to me is that doubles play has not really been a focus of our player development, especially the junior development. I think with the team event at the Olympics, sooner or later it has to be. And you can see that the tactics are a little bit haphazard sometimes.
Right, almost you have 2 players playing singles out there, and with the Chinese, you see the quality of their doubles in the team play. It's almost like they have a super player out there where both players are complementing, whereas in Team USA, players really aren't sure of the footwork to set up their partner, nor the placement, so they both just play strong.
Exactly, and the serve, return of serve especially. I know, and just to be sure, Erica and Ariel taking the first game 11-6. Whereas in the other match, Lily Zhang and Isabel Chu are now tied 2 games apiece. And it looks like Lily Zhang is up 5-2 in this 5th game, but as you recall in the under-21 event, she was up 5-1 against Prachi in the 5th game.
Right, so no lead is assured, but it does look like that Lily has gotten things under control a little bit more.
And just going back to doubles, watching some of the Korean teams that came to the U.S. Open in doubles, I know 2 of the players who traveled to the U.S. Open this year were former Korean national team members who specialize in doubles, which we don't really have those players who are doubles specialists. But watching their tactics in doubles was especially interesting because it wasn't even necessarily a whole lot of variety, but especially on the return of serve, for example, the lefty player would return backhand down the line every single time. And the opponent knew what was coming, but what he was doing was setting up so that his partner really didn't have to move over a large area. And we don't really teach doubles here with that level of detail to the junior players, so the tactics are a lot more haphazard and all over the place.
I really agree with you, Han. It's almost like a specialized part of the game, and if you look at our kind of sister sport with tennis, you actually have double specialists. You look at the Bryant brothers, and they're not by far strong in singles, but they know the angles, they know the placement. They set up their partner for every single shot. And placement in doubles, especially when you know where the serve is going, it's critical to be able to not just put the ball on the table, but give your partner an easy ball to play anywhere on the table, especially when you've got a moving target of an opponent that you can aim at.
Yeah. And I mean, doubles footwork looks easy, but it's extremely difficult to be able to move, to be able to be aggressive on the next ball. And the backwards forwards movement is even more critical than in singles, because you've got to move closer to the table to be able to play an aggressive shot. Too many players just hang further and further back, shot after shot in doubles.
I mean, that's one of the reasons the Koreans are so good in doubles, because they clearly have the strongest footwork, and they train the strongest footwork of any team in the world. So they're literally playing forehands throughout a doubles point.
And what to watch usually when you're watching doubles to see the skill level is the footwork, not just the placement, but also the footwork. What is the player doing after they hit the shot? Are they moving back to neutral position on the backhand corner most of the time, or are they just sort of hanging on the forehand corner? Because if you do that on the next shot, a lot of time you're forced to hit an awkward backhand out of position.
For, again, kind of our average USA table tennis member who loves doubles but would like to go further into a draw or a tournament, one big tip is when you're not hitting the ball, you're allowed to move. A lot of times players will stop and watch what their partner's doing, and you can't do that. You need to keep your feet moving and getting back into a position where you can cover both sides of the ball. And another tip is try not to return so many serves with your backhand, because it's so tough to get a forehand in. And you see it here. Tina's going to play with the backhand. Now she's over on the backhand side. If Ariel plays it down the line to her backhand, she doesn't have a choice. She must play a backhand.
Well, you can see both teams, even though Ariel and Erica are great singles players, I don't think they played a lot of doubles together. And just watch the positioning after someone hits a shot or makes a return of serve. They kind of just hang on the forehand corner, and sometimes they're just forced to play backhand on the next ball.
If you can rotate backwards, at least get to the center of the table, then you might be able to step around. But if you're hanging out on the forehand side of the doubles, it's just very difficult to, again, you want to be able to choose the shot. A Korean would be playing a forehand every single ball.
And the only players I've seen extensively return serves with the backhand is probably the Chinese team, and they just have that teamwork, the chemistry worked out, the footwork worked out to be able to do it. And that's all about placement and the spin to be able to set up your partner. But here, Ariel and Erica look to be firmly in control. The single skill is obviously, there's a disparity there.
Right.
So without one team having superior tactics or doubles training, it's usually just a matter of the singles skill levels.
And one other trend I've seen, Han, in the doubles is actually having the partner of the server give them the service choice, or tell them the signal of what serve they want, because really they're the one playing the ball. The server, if they're guessing what their partner wants, it's a guess. And here you see Ariel right there giving the signal of what serve that she'd like to see come back at her. Makes it much easier for her to kind of get into the mind of the partner or the opponent.
Over in the other match right now with Lily Zhang and Isabel Chu, the score is now tied 9-all in the 5th game in the deciding game. So I'll give you an update very shortly on the outcome.
Isabel getting to match point. A very strong comeback of her own. This 5th and final game in the team event, but Lily's able to get this point to make it deuce.
Very strong backhand, forehand opening from Erica there. And you just see that they're very relaxed because they have this match firmly in control. Switching to this match for just a second, since Lily is up match point in the 5th game. And there she finally takes the match in the 5th game, 12-10. So a great comeback from Isabel Chu, being down 2-1 and then being down 5-2 in the deciding game to come back and have match point. I'm sure Lily had her share of nerves there.
And I want to thank our production crew with David Del Vecchio. We've got both feature courts set up to receive the live stream, and anytime we can jump over. Not that this doubles match isn't important, but when you have Lily Zhang playing so well internationally and having her go to the very end of a deuce in the 5th match, definitely want to get that on for her friends back in the Bay Area. So Han, as we mentioned about the importance of getting your forehand into play in doubles on the women's side, since all these players are almost backhand specialists, that would be a reason they would feel more comfortable to serve with their backhand, because when the ball goes to their backhand, that's what they're looking for. On the men's side, slightly different, where the power comes in a lot more.
Yeah. The difference comes though when if you don't move and you're forced to play a backhand running back to your backhand corner, right? Because with the backhand, the key is you can't really reach as far across your body. It's just a different type of shot, so you have to be in position to hit that ball deep into your backhand corner.
Definitely getting that. There's a nice finish to the doubles match as well as the team tie with Gaojun Table Tennis Club out of Southern California with the 3-0 victory over the Lilia Table Tennis Center in the semifinals of this junior girls team event.